I'm Darley Newman, and I'm back in Alabama discovering great food throughout the state, taking a road trip. We're starting out here at a spot of tea in Mobile, Alabama, where this is truly the breakfast of champions, Eggs Cathedral. So let's go, because we got a lot to eat. We're traveling from Alabama's coast in Mobile to its capital city of Montgomery and Auburn University to taste the diversity of what's on offer in Alabama and how history has shaped a menu inspired by flavors from France, Great Britain, Spain, and even Cuba. From professional football stars turned restaurateurs and star chefs to family-run small businesses with deep roots here. We're enjoying fantastic food and meeting the top entrepreneurs behind this bounty. I'm starting my Alabama adventures doing what I recommend so many of you do on your travels. I'm getting lost. So I'm searching for this speakeasy, Las Floriditas, and I can't find it. I often seek out speakeasies in my home area of New York City. Found it.
¿Cómo está?
Bien, bien.
Welcome to Las Foodies.
And sometimes they are hard to find, but this one in Alabama takes the cake so far. Las Floriditas is housed in the basement of a high-rise office building in downtown Mobile. And even more unusual, if you go here, you can have a drink in an old bank vault. I found you.
Hello, welcome.
You don't
welcome,
make
Darley.
it look easy, Bob.
Yeah, man, welcome to Mobile and Las Floriditas.
Bob Baumhauer played for the University of Alabama under Coach Bear Bryant, and later under Coach Don Shula for the Miami Dolphins. He's also an Alabama restaurateur with restaurants located throughout the state, including Las Floriditas in Mobile, and just upstairs, Dolphins.
I lived in South Florida for a long time and fell in love with the Cuban culture. We came up with the concept of Las Floriditas, which is a tribute to El Floridita in Havana. They say it's the birthplace of the daiquiri, and that is our signature drink, the Las Floriditas daiquiri. Hope you enjoy.
Cheers.
Cheers.
Baumhauer is one of many Alabama entrepreneurs doing something innovative with drinks and food. We dive into ham and cheese croquettes with Dijon aioli, citrus-marinated grilled and chilled chimichurri shrimp, and a papaya daiquiri French-style pastry. The pastry is so light, and that lemon zesty flavor,
Yeah.
it's fantastic.
Nice combination of textures, too.
I've been enjoying a bit of Cuba here. I think we should head to France.
Okay, let's go.
We take the elevator to the 34th floor to Dolphins, which offers sweeping views of Mobile.
You know, Mobile has a pretty strong Creole background with, you know, the French being the founders here, and we got a lot going on just as much as New Orleans does when it comes to the Creole thing. So, and we're in the South, so fried green tomatoes with our shrimp or something that a lot of folks like here.
A little bit of a heat to it. I like that little kick.
Isn't that nice? Nice combination of flavors there. And
You've had the game of football, but also the restaurant game, which is more of a challenge.
I don't have to think about this long. The hospitality restaurant business. Anybody that knows anything about football knows that you don't grow up wanting to be a nose guard. It's not a fun position. It's tough. This business is tougher. I'm starting a new day in Mobile with a walk in the park, followed by the most important meal, breakfast. A spot of tea is a Mobile staple, and little Tony introduces me to his family restaurant, where he literally grew up.
This is the Cathedral Park, named aptly after the Church of the Nativity Conception, or the Cathedral.
Beautiful church, wow.
It's one of the oldest parishes in Mobile, was founded in 1703.
So you grew up right here, living above a spot of tea.
Yes, ma'am. It was just a little breakfast lunch area where people could feel welcome and just have a cup of tea and like maybe a tuna sandwich. So that's where the spot of tea comes from, and it just kind of exploded from there.
What should I have this morning at Spot of Tea?
The Eggs Cathedral. The English muffin, crab cake, scrambled eggs surrounded by a bed of country-style hash browns, deadly hash browns, which is a ham, cheddar cheese, onions, bell peppers, peppercino peppers, and of course, covered in our signature seafood sauce made with Mexican grouper and crawfish tails. You can get that nowhere else but the Spotted Tea.
So like the layers of building materials that go into making a beautiful cathedral, you have created this massive eggs cathedral. The holy grail of eggs.
I guess so, yes.
So this is the eggs cathedral. It's cheesy, it's creamy.
Ooh, there's a kick. That is really good. Got a seafood flavor, but not too much. This is just meal number 1 of the day, people.
For lunch, I'm heading to the Noble South to meet Chris Reinashek for Meat and 3.
Share with us what Meat and 3 is and how you're doing it here.
Kind of a style of serving and ordering the food that you would find at, old Southern lunch counters, and basically get to pick your meat and then pick your vegetable sides. Collard greens, broccoli rice casserole. This is a beet salad with feta and pecans. Everybody's favorite Southern vegetable, macaroni and cheese. Fried catfish, skillet corn, black-eyed peas, and cornbread.
We'll definitely have to start with this catfish. It's nice and crunchy on the outside, soft, moist on the inside, really flavorful.
We use a mixture of heirloom corns. This farm grows a bunch of heirloom varietals of corn, so all different colors, all different varietals, and they grind it up into grits and cornmeal.
There are a lot of chefs that are really searching for those heirloom ingredients now.
It provides inspiration to the chefs and the cooks, let them see something different you've never seen before, as well as just the flavors. If it's coming straight off the farm, and those ingredients can have so much more of a true flavor to what the ingredient is. So this is kind of our version of a classic Southern cornbread. We use our heirloom cornmeal, same as you had on the catfish, and then we cook it in the classic way, a little bit of bacon fat in a very hot cast iron pan.
Okay, bacon fat in a cast iron skillet.
Yes.
With all different types of heirloom cornmeal.
Correct.
Who doesn't love a good cornbread?
Everybody's Alabama grandma has a cornbread recipe, a mac and cheese recipe. And as you work your way through the seasons, we always have different things kind of rotating through. So it'll be a totally different looking menu in the summer, totally different menu in the fall. It keeps it interesting for us and keeps our farmers in business.
An elevated Meat and 3, fresh from the farm.
I'm taking a break from food at the History Museum of Mobile and Colonial Fort Condé.
Welcome to Fort Condé and to Mobile, the home of the very short doorways. Watch your head.
Melissa Harville is helping me to understand how the geography in this part of Alabama made the Mobile area such an enticing spot for various Europeans to make their mark here.
This is where Mobile's story starts. It's the origins of our city, and it was founded by the French under King Louis XIV. And 2 brothers were sent down here to see what was here, named Bienville and d'Iberville. And as you can see behind us right here, Bienville was covered in snake tattoos and Native American symbols.
He was so in.
He was in. He was a linguist, he was a diplomat, and he established very good relationships with the Native American tribes that were here. And so to endear himself to them, he covered himself in tattoos.
Fort Condé's museum is housed in a replica of the original Fort Condé, which was built by French explorers in 1723.
And this area was coveted because you're heading into that Mississippi Valley area, which
Yes.
people wanted to claim.
Yes, absolutely. So if you can control the waterways that go up through what's now the United States, then you can control all of the trade that comes in and out of the bay and that comes into this area, which is what we still do today.
So a lot of what was built around Mobile was by the French in the beginning.
The French influenced everything that we still do today. They influenced our social activities like Mardi Gras. They influenced our street names.
They left their imprint on a lot of things.
They sure did.
I can't wait to try some of the food.
Yeah, oh gosh, you're gonna love it. You will not leave Mobile hungry, that's for sure.
What should I be eating today?
Beignets, those are definitely French as well.
Good eats from the French.
For sure.
Speaking of beignets, I'm heading to Mo Bay Beignet to try some.
I always say that if you're in a local place, find a food tour company, a walking tour. They really know a lot of the spots that you want to visit. And I just ran into one, and they were telling me a little bit more about Jacqueline Robinson's story. She started Mo Bay Beignet Company, and she started out of her house, making beignets out of her house, and she did so well that people said, you got to open brick and mortar stores, and now she's got several locations. Okay. Ooh, fresh and hot. That's one thing about the beignets here. They are made from scratch, they come out fresh, and I hear that the syrups are what I really want to get into. Now they have seasonal flavors, but they've also got a buttercream and cinnamon today. And I'm going for that buttercream. Sweet and crunchy on the outside, and that powdered sugar mixed with the buttercream. That is super tasty.
For another food celebrating this blend of cultures, I'm trying cheese, and more cheese at the Cheese Cottage. Housed in an old pure oil gas station located on St. Louis Street.
I heard there was a cheese cottage here in Mobile, and being such a cheese lover, I had to stop by. And when you lay out a cheese board, there's just definitely an art form to it. This is something that I have to try. It's something called the Prairie Breeze cheese, from right here in the USA. It's really good cheddar. If you're a cheddar lover, this is it. but I've got a lot to work my way through here at the Cheese Cottage.
Chef-driven restaurants are popular on the global scene, and Mobile is no exception.
Hello.
Chef Panini Pete is one of the most well-known, having been featured on Food Network shows such as Diners, Drive-Ins, and Dives with Guy Fieri, and The Great Food Truck Race with Tyler Florence. His downtown Mobile restaurant, Squid Ink Eats and Drinks, melds Mobile's French, British, and Spanish heritage into dishes and cocktails.
Right when you walk in Squid Ink, the first thing you see is the Cadillac wall over here. Antoine de Lemon Cadillac, who was an early royal governor of French Louisiana. This was the capital of French Louisiana before it moved west. So we got this cool history. So he was also the founder of Detroit, namesake of the Cadillac. When you learn that story, you go, wow, this makes it even better. It's a better experience. We've been under French rule, Spanish rule, British rule. So we kind of played with a lot of that in the food.
This is the paella?
Yes, so we're right in the midst of Spain here. We have the paella fritters with the romesco sauce. I'm gonna crack one open so you can really see it. So you got that nice, those
look at that
peas in
steam
there.
coming
Yeah,
out.
the saffron rice, chicken, chorizo sausage, a neat, unique twist on A Taste of Spain. It's been a great hit.
That's really good.
And the infamous SOS, the Spanish squid on a shingle, which is so good. It comes with this little drop bucket of love here.
That garlic is really good.
You ready to try a little fish and chips? We've got some fried mahi with a nice traditional batter.
Sometimes the fish and chips are too bland. This is a lot of flavor.
Here, with the diversity of the menu, we have to have everything's got to have a voice. So for our little French nod, we have this killer Cadillac burger that I want you to try today. Again, there's a shallot bacon jam and some melted brie cheese, and it's got lettuce, tomatoes, onions, our burger sauce.
I love burgers. I love meat. This is amazing. This is the Cadillac of burgers right here.
Antoine de Lemon Cadillac lived right on the next block. He was a lover of good food and drink, so the Black Cadillac is a play on a French 75, again, to acknowledge that heritage. We've got some Squid Ink in there. Damn the Torpedoes is an amazing rum drink that we have with also Squid Ink to honor Admiral Farragut.
So neat that you have the French, the British, the Spanish flavors going on here, an homage to the heritage, and then so much history right around the corner.
Yeah, Mobile's a very unique city, and we call it kind of historic eats, and it gives us a lot of room to play with the menu. You know, it takes the borders off, and we get to just go crazy back there.
Since we're tasting food with history, I thought I'd better find a hotel with history for my stay in Mobile.
So it looks like
Margot Gilbert is showing me around the Battle House Renaissance, which dates back to 1852.
If you look at the lobby of the hotel, it's a Beaux Arts architecture. So if you think about Beaux Arts, it checks all the boxes. Arches, marble, grand staircases, an elevated first floor.
Well, I see Louis XIV, I see George III.
Ferdinand V, and then George Washington in each corner. So all of these are the rulers of their countries when their countries ruled over Mobile.
Tell us about this I see over there. Shh, we've got a whisper.
So the Whispering Arch, that's one of the most famous architectural features of the hotel. You stand on each side, you can talk to each other in a very low voice, and no one else can hear you.
Margot, can you hear me?
Yoo-hoo, I can hear you.
Oh my gosh. This is wild.
No one else can hear what we're talking about right now. If you think about this architectural feature, it's the same as St. Paul's in London and then the Capitol building in DC. I'm sure there's been a few secrets that have been passed back and forth between the Whispering Arch here at the Battle House.
We're road tripping about 2.5 hours northeast of Mobile to Montgomery, Alabama, Alabama's state capital, to explore the food scene in this historic city, starting with an epic location, Chris's Hot Dogs. This hot dog restaurant has been in business for over 100 years, back when hot dogs were sold to customers for just 15 cents. Hank Williams, Dr. Martin Luther King Jr., and Elvis Presley once dined here, and Theo Katishis remembers a few of them.
I hear that there have been a number of famous people who have walked through these doors over the years.
F. Scott and Zelda Fitzgerald came in here. No, she was from Montgomery. Zelda was. I guess one of the most famous ones, probably. Hank Williams. And every now and then, he would get rowdy, and my dad would say, "It's time for you to go." Rumor is he was sitting at this counter, and they saw a pretty lady like you walk in, and wrote the song, "Hey, good looking" here. So
love that.
That's my good line.
I love it. Hey, good looking. Well, what makes the hot dogs so good?
That's a special chili sauce that we make.
It's a special chili sauce, okay.
Right.
And the ingredients, are they secret or?
Yes, they are.
They are, okay.
They're not written down. It's up here.
A little bit of kick to the chili sauce, but it's really tasty. It's sweet and savory at the same time. That bun, it's really good. How is it that you've stayed in business for over 100 years?
Well, I learned a lot from my father about how to run business. He never met a stranger, you know, and he didn't care what color you were, treated everybody the same. You know, he knew about prejudices himself, being a Greek immigrant, so he never treated, no matter what your color was, different. I always greeted them with a smile and how you doing.
Sort of fitting that Chris's Hot Dogs is located just across the street from where Rosa Parks once worked as a seamstress, and just a few blocks away from the Dexter Avenue Baptist Church, where Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. preached, and along the Selma to Montgomery March route, where Dr. King led the 1965 March for Voting Rights, ending on the steps of the state capitol and passing by Chris's Hot Dogs. Maybe the secret in the sauce is wisdom. Brendas Barbecue Pit is another long-standing Montgomery restaurant that has had icons pass through its doors.
My grandmother always told me about Dr. King coming here. She fed Dr. King, you know, Rosa Parks. Anybody you can think of that was prominent in the South in the Civil Rights Movement, we fed them.
It's been in business and family-owned since 1942. Donetta Bethune's grandparents started the restaurant that she now runs with her sister.
Hey, may I help you?
Hi, I'd like the pig ear sandwich with the works.
Pig ears with the works?
Yeah. What sets Brenda's Barbecue Pit apart?
The pig ear sandwich, because it's so unique, but I will tell you, here in the South, it's a delicacy. When they sit on the menu, the first thing they say, is it fried? I say, you're not from here. Because if you were from here, you would know here is not fried.
Yeah. Thank you so much. Thank you. All right. My first time having a pig ear sandwich. Let's check it out. Wow. I thought about ears and I thought it would be crunchy or hard to eat. It's super tender, super flavorful, and that barbecue sauce. We've definitely had a lot of meat and a lot of barbecue on this adventure, but we're now going to turn our tables to a vegan option, plant-based, made from scratch.
Dr. QB Merritt introduces us to a healthy vegan restaurant just a few blocks away from Chris's Hot Dogs.
How did you decide to open a vegan restaurant here in Montgomery?
When I went for my checkup, my cholesterol was elevated. I cut the meat and dairy, and my cholesterol dropped by 30 points in 30 days, and I continued on the path.
This looks like a meat and three, but there's no meat here.
That's right. So you have our meatless 4 options. Cauliflower wings, we take fresh cauliflower, we batter them. We also have our vegan mac and cheese, our vegan collard greens, along with our lima beans. And this is all topped with our vegan cornbread that's gluten-free.
Now, this is not a Philly cheesesteak.
It is called our Philly Cheese Bay. It's a hail to Philly, though. We take Beyond Meat, we crumble it and add our own seasonings to it, along with sauteed mushrooms and onions, along with our vegan mozzarella cheese.
Okay, your sauces are really good. I am a meat and cheese person. I have a lot of dairy, but I'm really not missing it at all with this sandwich.
I feel like if you put the same kind of love towards your vegetables as you would your meat, there's a boiled chicken without any seasoning isn't good either. But when you really focus on seasoning, you can get a really good product.
I'm in the historic Cottage Hill neighborhood this morning here in Montgomery, Alabama. We're right along the route of the historic Selma to Montgomery March. And here at Hilltop Public House, it's another gathering place for the community. Now, here at Hilltop Public House, I definitely recommend getting the lavender latte and the jalapeno cheddar scone.
To get a different view of Montgomery, I'm heading to a rooftop at Rello with co-owner and executive chef Eric Rivera.
And we're having Franco Goes to the Luau in the Himalayas. Awesome.
They came up with a lot of fun names for the drinks up here.
Warning, this beverage may inspire hints of bravery and spontaneity. It's just fun. It should be fun, right?
Keeps it light, especially when you're on the rooftop overlooking the city.
Oh, here's the fountain, the
Yeah,
famous
you
fountain.
can see all the way up to the fountain and all the way down to the train shed and the riverfront from here.
How did you come up with the concept for Rello?
First and foremost, we love revitalizing different buildings as part of a restaurant group. So we already done a renovation in one bank, and doing another one is kind of a natural fit.
So where's the money hidden?
There's a safe somewhere. We haven't found that one yet.
Is it in the pasta?
I think so.
Having been inspired by his time in Italy, Chef Rivera brings Italian flavors with homemade pastas to Rello, an upscale dining option in Montgomery.
Cacio e pepe, that's our most classic dish. That's the bucatini pasta, a little bit of pasta water, pecorino, and fresh cracked black pepper.
And all handmade pastas.
All handmade pastas.
I love when a recipe has simple ingredients so that the ingredients shine through.
Yep, and true to Italian tradition with keeping things simple. Let the flavors speak for themselves.
Cheers.
Cheers.
Thanks for having us.
Thanks for coming by.
To understand where these great Alabama chefs, hoteliers, and hospitality experts may have gotten their start, I'm going back to school at Auburn University in Auburn, Alabama, less than an hour's drive from Montgomery. It's where Hans van der Weyden is taking me on a tour of Auburn University's Tony and Lebo Rain Culinary Science Center. Here, students learn all aspects of the hospitality business, from cooking to craft beer making to hotel and event management, with hands-on studies.
It's a teaching hotel, a teaching restaurant, a teaching coffee roastery and coffee bar.
The students rotate through the different labs, but they're also open to the public.
As a guest, you're participating really in the learning process for our students.
I mean, the best place to learn is in the field, so this is your field.
It is, yes. The most beautiful classroom on earth.
I know, I was gonna say, it's really nice. I would like to go here.
Travelers can visit the coffee shop, food hall, 1856 restaurants, spa, and book a stay at the hotel on site. We go upstairs to check out breakfast and other amenities.
So our breakfast spread for today, it changes every day.
Well, I am eyeing the Monte Cristo and the candied bacon. So
I'm right there with you. Those are my favorites.
I don't see this every day.
How's that?
Satisfying.
1856 is the year Auburn University was founded. Well, welcome to 1856, our culinary residence. And so this is literally a classroom, but we as guests actually get to enjoy it. These students are going out all over the world. At some point, some of them want to come back and open a restaurant.
Well, cheers to that.
Cheers to that.
We all want good food in the world.
I know, right?
And hospitality.
Students at Auburn University have worked at nearby Acre restaurant, where John David Hammond shares its backstory.
Acre is here so close to Auburn University, right by downtown. How does it tie in with the community here in Auburn?
We wanted to build something that was a part of the community and mean it when we say that all of our stuff comes from local farmers, because that's something that's rooted in Southern culture, is supporting your neighbor and being a part of something like that.
Share with me what we have on this beautiful charcuterie board.
Yeah, so what we have in front of us is we have Tabasco salami, we have a summer sausage, we have a Mexican mole beef sausage. On this side, we have pork rillettes with the pecan ground mustard, and then we have Southern cheeses, house-made Benet crackers, house-pickled grapes.
Definitely never had pickled grapes before. Start with the beef mole.
Yes.
I'm tasting a little cumin and...
Yes, a little cumin, a little bit of chocolate on the back end. It just kind of rounds it all out.
I'm gonna go for a grape. What do you pickle it in?
You know, a little bit of peppercorn, some vinegar, you know, and some house spices.
I love this, but I love vinegar.
That vinegar is just there to kind of break up a lot of the kind of heavier things on the board.
This is one of my favorite ways to eat because I love variety. Being able to try a bunch of different things and literally go from flavor to flavor to flavor.
Right.
It's a win.
I mean, that is why we call it the oak sampler. I mean, it is our true variety of everything that we're kind of offering in-house.
Wonderful, and we know where it all came from.
That's right, which is the most important thing.
Thanks so much for joining me on these adventures exploring food in Alabama. It's not just about food, it's about history and community, and knowing where our food comes from that makes it so special. I appreciate you taking the time to spend it with me here in Alabama. I'm Darley Newman, and thanks for watching. Oh yeah, I like mine with lettuce.
You got it.
Heinz 57 and French fried potatoes.
Some people are a little bit tentative. I appreciate you going right in, right to the tennies and everything.
You know you're doing well when the beignets are all over town. As you can see, I'm gonna be here for a little bit. If Greg is lucky, I will share. It's bacon. Bacon is good. And when you candy it,